Let's be real. I didn't want to become one of those people who spends hours tracking every single expense in a spreadsheet. I mean, who has time for that, right? I used to be the person who'd cringe at the word budget, but then I realized I didn't have to be a finance expert or spend hours crunching numbers to save money. I just needed a system that worked for me, someone who's lazy, busy, and just wants to keep it simple. So, without intro, without long speeches, here are 5 ways I learned to budget and save money the lazy way. Number 1. Most people say you should save a percentage of your income every month. Cool, but here's the problem. If you're like me, you probably forget to transfer money to your savings account, or you just don't feel motivated to do it. So here's what I did. I set up 2 bank accounts, one for spending and one for saving. Then I automated it. Every time I get paid, a portion of my paycheck automatically goes into my savings account. I don't even have to think about it. It's like magic. Money just appears in my savings account, and I don't miss it because I never see it in the first place. Pro tip: start small. Even if it's just $20 a paycheck, it adds up over time. And the best part? You don't have to lift a finger after setting it up. So this is the first lazy way of budgeting and saving money. It is called pay yourself first. Number 2, traditional budgeting can feel overwhelming. You're supposed to track groceries, entertainment, utilities, gas, and like 10 other categories. Nope, not for me. Instead, I focus on one category where I tend to overspend. For me, it was eating out. So I set a simple rule. I could only spend $100 a month on restaurants. That's it. I didn't worry about the other stuff. Just that one category. This made budgeting feel way less intimidating. And over time, I started applying the same rule to other categories like shopping or subscriptions. But starting with just one made it feel doable. Think about it. What's your money weakness? Start there. So the second way of budgeting and saving money is the one category budget rule. Number 3. This one is so simple, but it's been a game changer for me. Every time I spend money, I round up the amount and save the difference. For example, if I buy a coffee for $4.75, I round it up to $5 and put the extra 25 cents into a jar or a digital savings app. It's such a small amount that I don't even notice it, but over time, it adds up. I've saved hundreds of dollars just by doing this, and it requires zero effort. It's a super lazy way to save money without even trying. This method is called the spare change savings hack. Number 4. I used to think saving money was just about being responsible. But honestly, that's not very motivating. What changed for me was setting a specific goal. For example, I wanted to save up for a weekend getaway. So every time I thought about buying something I didn't really need, I'd ask myself, would I rather have this thing or would I rather have that trip? Having a clear goal made saving feel less like a chore and more like a game. So think about what you're saving for, whether it's a vacation, a new gadget, or just peace of mind. It makes all the difference. That's why saving feels easier when you have a why. Number 5. Budgeting doesn't mean you can never spend money on things you enjoy. In fact, I think it's important to treat yourself every once in a while. The key is to plan for it. I set aside a small amount of money each month for fun spending. It could be on clothes, hobbies, or whatever makes me happy. And because I've already budgeted for it, I don't feel guilty when I spend it. This has been huge for me because it keeps me from feeling deprived, which means I'm less likely to go on a spending spree later. So give yourself permission to enjoy your money. Just do it in a way that works with your budget. This is what is called the no guilt spending rule. Earlier, I mentioned how automating your savings is one of the laziest and most effective ways to build wealth over time. But here's the thing. Once you've got that system in place, you might start wondering, okay, I'm saving money, but how do I make it grow? That's where investing comes in. And if you're like me, the idea of investing might feel overwhelming at first. I mean, stocks, ETFs, dividends, what does it all even mean? Well, in my last video, I shared 5 secrets that made investing way easier for me, even as a total beginner. I talked about how I started small, focused on simple strategies, and avoided overcomplicating things. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll leave it linked right here. And if you're curious about how to make your money work for you while you sleep, check out my video on how I make $500 a month from dividends. It's all about building a portfolio that generates passive income, perfect for anyone who wants to be lazy, but still win with their money. So, what's your next step? Start with automating your savings, then explore how to grow that money. And if you're ready to dive deeper, I've got you covered. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.